What's up, goodies? Welcome back to your girl channel and to my kitchen, how to cook. And honey, guess what? Your girl is here with your requested recipe. You wanted a soup recipe, but you want it with cow foot and tripe and oxtail and honey in the slow cooker, and your girl is here to deliver. As always, this soup recipe is no ordinary soup, and you don't want to miss this. It has so much flavor, and honey, it is right on time. Fast, easy, and simple. Now, if you're here watching me cooking for your very first time and you have not already subscribed, go ahead and do so. Then turn on the post notification settings, right? So you will always be reminded whenever your girl uploads a brand new video. For all of my returning goodie, big up on yourself straight. Let's start cooking.
You don't remember where you're coming from. You don't remember where you're coming from. You don't remember where you're coming from. Rastafari. Why you turn your back on your brother when him need you? You don't remember the days and when him feed you. You know when no obligation but you owe him some respect. All you need to do is just give him wine to get turn your back on your brother when him need you.
Let's talk about our soup and all the ingredients that you're going to make to make this turn up thing, right? Now, what I used for the recipe was cow foot, cow tripe, and oxtail. Those are the three meats that you asked me to use for this soup recipe, and your girl delivered. All right, now I did use about 6 pieces of cow foot, 6 pieces of oxtail, and I'd say about a pound of the cow tripe. Now you want to make sure when you're cooking this recipe, you want to be sure, 100% sure that your meat is washed. Now a lot of people say them not wash the meat in them kitchen, but goody, in our kitchen we are wash the daylight saving time out of our meat, right? So let me show you how I get this thing cleaned up. Now under cold water, you want to give it a good rinse first, a really good rinse, just to get some of that mucky thing that might be lingering on that meat. Now after you have rinsed it maybe once or twice, you want to just go ahead and throw that water off. And again, make sure that you're using cold water to wash your meat. Now, this is what I do. I get a little bit of salt and then I use some vinegar. Now, I'm using apple cider vinegar. You could use fresh lemon, but I'm using lemon juice to wash up the meat, and that is just fine. If you don't have that, use lime. Still good. Now, I cover it up for, I would say, probably about 30 to 40 minutes and just make it chill and clean up itself. After that time go by, go back in and rinse the meat once again under cold running water, and you're going to see that in fact the water changed. The water look kind of white like rice water. That is why it is critical for you to wash your meat. Do not take your meat out of a plastic bag that you buy at the meat market or a supermarket and throw seasoning on it and think it is healthy. It is not. You need to wash your meat. So I don't understand why people keep commenting and telling me that it's not necessary to wash your meat. Wash your meat goodie, okay? Now these are all the seasonings that you will need to make the soup. Alright, we're going to use scallion and thyme and 1 hot scotch bonnet pepper. I'm also going to add some pumpkin. Right, now definitely I'm going to use some bay leaves for the recipe, and I did get this bay leaf straight out of Jamaica. Alright, now I'm going to use 2 red bell peppers, ginger, garlic for sure. In addition to all of that, I'm going to use this right here. I'm using diced tomato in the can. Now, of course, you could use fresh tomato and do the recipe, but I'm gonna make life easy and simple. Now, you want to have a lot of tomato for the recipe, so I'm using a 28-ounce can of tomato, and I bought this in an Aldi supermarket. enough tomato you're gonna need for this recipe. Now you want to flavor it up with some black pepper, and I'm using my Ocho-Rios all-purpose season. You can substitute that. I'm also using this Ocho-Rios meat, steak, stew beef seasoning. The thing's so nice. So I'm going to add that to it, and you can substitute that. This I'm a good up combo season. I'm finally fine, so I'm going to add that to it. Of course, you need garlic powder and onion powder. Right, come up with thing a notch good. I'm going to use my dried pepper flakes, a little bit of that allspice, or if you have powdered spice, use that, and some paprika, and that is all you need. Now make a season up the thing. Now the first thing you always want to do is just sprinkle with a little bit of salt. Right, I didn't use a lot of it because salt might be in those seasonings. Add your black pepper. I'm going to season up this thing. Then I'm using my organic ginger here that I'm buying at all this, but you could use fresh ginger. Add your garlic, fresh garlic to it, and the allspice for sure. And I think I used probably about 8 of that to it. Add my paprika. And if you are going to use the powdered allspice, be sure to use about a half teaspoon of that. Now this is my all-purpose seasoning. I love this brand too, but I also love Grace as well. Now I'm gonna add just like a teaspoon of the dried pepper flakes because I am using Scotch Bonnet, so I don't want to overdo it, right? Add a little bit of my garlic powder and my onion powder to it, and then of course your girl is going in with my episode. I'm so in love with my combo season on it. I couldn't find it for the longest time. I'm find it. Go down on my old time neighborhood. I'm find it, and my meat stew steak season all up on that good honey. This season right here is oh so good. If you can't find it, go on Amazon, it's there. Now with clean hands, you want to go ahead and give it a good mix and a good rub. You are putting this thing into the slow cooker, so there is absolutely no need to let it sit and marinate overnight. You don't have to do that, because anything we put in a slow cooker, it cooks really slow, so it is going to soak up all that goodness. All right, before I did put it in though, I did add about 1 tablespoon of oil. You could use any oil of your choice and you are good to go. Now this is the first thing you want to do before you move on to do anything. Now you want to go ahead and blend your bell peppers and your tomatoes. I'm using this right here, like I said, the tomato in the can, but if you don't want to use the tomato in the can, use your fresh tomato. Go there. You know what I'm saying about a comfort the can of tomato, and not the thing turn up same way. Use whatever is close to you, right? A quarantine, we're still upon quarantine, so we have to just make whatever we have work. So I did use the entire 28-ounce can of this tomato right here. If you're going to use fresh tomato, use a lot of it, as much as you want, because you can never overdo on the tomatoes, right? You can never overdo on the tomatoes. You'll be just fine either way. Okay, so what I did though, I can tell you though, after I done blended everything, I did get 2 servings for the soup, right? So say if you want to measure it up, you're going to need at least 4 to 5 cups. I'd say probably 5 cups. Okay, you want to make sure you have enough of this mixture for this soup, because you want it to have the flavor of the tomatoes and the bell pepper. Okay, make sure you do that. Now we're going to get this thing ready. Now on high heat, you want to make sure that your slow cooker is turned to high heat only. Go ahead and add in your cow foot and your oxtail and your cow tripe, all open up good there, and make sure you get all of that season all up in that slow cooker. Okay, now what I did next was go in and pour all of my blended seasoning into my slow cooker. And again, I used 2 containers that I blended in there. you might want to do at least 5 cups. Now I added 2 stalks of scallion, some thyme, I'm finally finding at the farmer's market, and I added the bay leaves, about 2 to 3, and I added my pumpkin that I cut up in small pieces. And then I did go in and add some carrots to it as well. Okay, now know that you can add any other veggies that you want to add in there. Even if you want to put potatoes, go ahead and put your potatoes in there. Now for the recipe, we're going to need some cooking stock, whether it's beef, chicken, vegetables, whatever stock, go ahead and use it. You're going to need exactly 2 cups of cooking stock, any cooking stock of your choice. Then I went in and added exactly 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, because girl no cook without vinegar, right? And that's why I put it in there. Vinegar, good thing. Now go ahead and cover it up and come back to it after it has been cooking for about an hour and a half. That is what it's going to look like unbothered. Now you're going to bother the thing. So go ahead and give it a good mix and combine all your veggies and all the other things that you had put in there, the tomato, honey, and the bell pepper. It's going to give it a beautiful color, just like so. Okay, and the thing, even after an hour and a half of cooking, the thing smells so delicious. All right, the thing turn up, smells so good. Now all the ingredients and everything that I use for the soup recipe will be listed down in the description box, so make sure you go down there, it is there. And if you're still here watching me cooking thus far, that means you like the recipe. Go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up. It does help the video to grow. Thumbs up the video, alright? Now what I did here was go in and add some cloves. Now if you don't have cloves like this, use the powdered cloves, and if you don't have cloves, use a half a teaspoon of nutmeg to it. But I did add about 6 cloves to it. Don't add no more than that. Give it a good spin, and remember, right here is an hour and a half into cooking your soup inside of your slow cooker. Alright, so what I did here, right, after an hour and a half of cooking, cover it up back, and I went back in 1.5 hours later. So that is a total of 3 hours of cooking this particular soup that you have requested inside of the slow cooker. Look how the thing look nice. Look nice, smell good. Yes, honey, flavors galore. The thing is shot. Now, after your 3 hours of cooking, you want to go in with 1 package of pumpkin flavored soup mix, and I'm using the Grace brand here. Do not use chicken, but you can use beef if you like. Do not use fish either. You're going to either use pumpkin or beef flavored soup mix only. Just go ahead and add the 1 packet in, and then you add 1 cup of coconut cream, or you can add 1 can of coconut cream. Mix it all in just like so, and mama, the thing turn up, flavor on top of flavor. The thing smells so good, so good. But know some people say that all them things smell good and taste good, but in a reality, it really go so. Honey, when me tell us that the things smell good, the things smell good. Or meat is almost tender, but we still have some time left on it. We are just going to go back in, and we're going to cover it back up, and we are going to go ahead and start making our splinters. Now I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour here, and I had about a half teaspoon of salt, not too much, and just go ahead, throw your water in there. Just regular splinters, flour and water, and a little bit of salt. Just give it a good mix, and bam, I had my splinters and it was all ready for my soup. Soup what? The soup that you have requested in my Jamaican Rock kitchen. Okay, now, so we are going to go back in and we're going to pop that pot open, okay, after about 3 hours and 15 minutes. And we're going to go in, give it a good mix, wake it on up. The thing is almost done. The meat is the way I want it to be. My pepper is still holding. Like I said before, you could have potatoes in there if you'd like. You had chocha, any other veggies that you like, you could go ahead and just add it on up in there. All right, then go in and add your splinters of choice. Do not put a round dumpling in there, just put your splinters in. That is what this soup called for. Any size of your choice, go ahead and throw it all up in there, baby. And we are going to allow these splinters to cook for the remainder of the time. Just spin it up nice, love the thing. The thing turn up. Smells so good. So good. Now, if you're still here watching me cooking, right, go ahead and subscribe to my second channel, Life with Juliana. The link will be down below. Now, boom. After a total of 5 hours of cooking, your soup, the soup, honey, that you have requested in my slow cooker is all done. It is all done, boo. Everything is nice and tender. The cold foot that fall off of the bone. The splinters them well spin up and ready for the plate. Honey, the oxtail was superficially tender. Everything just came together nicely. The soup itself was rich and thick and yummy and gourmet. This is not an ordinary soup. The soup is massively good. You hear me? Look on the oxtail there. Look on the oxtail there. Oxtail turn up, you hear me? It turn up loud. You have to try this recipe. This soup here is a filler, perfect for this type of weather. And when I put this thing in a plate, honey, look at that. Look at just the texture and the richness of this soup. You have to try it. All natural, no water, don't think nothing of this. Everything does ready and natural. If you want to strong up yourself and you feel healthy and a mad energy, this is the soup that you have to try. You are going to love every single bite. All right, so be sure that you spread the love with friends and family. Share the recipe all over social media and tell them what's going on over here. Bring them, come and send them, come, I'm waiting. After you're done do that, tell me what you want to see me cook next in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy.